What's up, tubers? It's your boy Itchy, and I want to do a quick video discussing a comment that was left on my previous video by a gentleman by the name of Brandon Perrine. And in that comment, he asked me what I think about the possibility of Microsoft giving developers the option of higher clock speed or more RAM. And I think it's kind of interesting. There's a couple different ways you can look at it. I think it's a win-win for us that Microsoft is kind of backpedaling on a lot of the things that they originally said about the Xbox One, because I honestly don't think the initial offering was as user-friendly as this new offering will be. So that's a positive. I also think that there are still a lot of changes yet to be made, even in the short time left before the consoles actually debut. I'm thinking we'll see these consoles sometime by the end of November, which is kind of a no-brainer, with that being the heart of the holiday season. But I still think there's a lot of tweaking left to do, particularly on Microsoft's part, because they had no idea that Sony was going to come out of the gate this strong. I've been looking at a lot of reports that have come out this week. I know Best Buy is sold out of Xbox One pre-orders, and GameStop is sold out of your PlayStation 4 pre-orders. But truth be told, every retailer out there, if you ask which system is pre-ordering better, will tell you without blinking, without pausing, it's the PlayStation. PlayStation 4 is just beasting right now. That being said, and going back to the original question of developers being offered the option of a higher GPU clock speed or more RAM, I mean, here's what I think. I think the higher GPU clock speed is a lie, and the reason is because Microsoft struggled so much with heat issues and red rings of death and all that stuff in the previous in the previous Xbox, that I don't think they're gonna fuck with GPU and clock speed. Because if you've ever built a computer and you start to push the clock speed up on the processor, it starts to get hot, and if you don't have adequate cooling, you're gonna have some issues. And I think that Microsoft has some issues with overheating as present, and I don't think that they really got it fixed until the final couple iterations of the Xbox 360, and they might not have gotten it fixed then. But because I don't play it a whole lot, I know in the early goings they had a lot of issues, and it resulted in a lot of red rings of death, and it resulted in a lot of people having to buy multiple Xbox 360s. Never had those issues with the PlayStation, but just that alone caused a lot of issues for Microsoft, I'm sure, and they don't want to go back and fuck with that anymore, I don't think. So I don't think that they will mess with GPU clock speed. Higher RAM is a possibility, and I think it's a good possibility. Don't be surprised if they up the RAM to try and best the PlayStation, and I think that's a pretty easy thing to do, because you can do that without a lot of without any negative effect, really. I think it'll only be positive to upgrade the RAM. I think both systems should upgrade the RAM, which, for you guys that don't know, RAM is random access memory for the console. I think that'd be great. That, along with the processor, should provide some interesting results if they get the combo right for this generation, and that goes for both consoles. What it ultimately boils down to, though, is software for the hardware. If they don't have good software, we're not going to want to play the consoles. I mean, you can have the best hardware in the world, and if you don't have any kind of good software, then it's just going to be a shitty experience, and nobody really wants that. I know for sure I don't. So I'm hoping that once the actual consoles come out, I get a better idea, and I'm hoping both produce the results I'm expecting. I mean, right now talk is really cheap, and there's a lot of different things that we could talk about. This one has better this one has better that, this one has crappy this one has crappy that. None of that shit really matters right now, because we're so far off from the launch. I mean, we're still a good 5 months, so it'll be a while before we actually get an opportunity to see what this console generation is going to be made of, and that's where we can really form our opinions as to what we like. You know, Xbox had a huge jump last console go around, and it showed. I mean, PlayStation 3 has just now recently caught up, and you know, some would argue it still hasn't caught up, and particularly in North America it's just a hard sell because they had such a big lead, and the developers liked the platform better, and it showed through games. And I think you honestly had a better gaming experience on the Xbox 360. At least a lot of people did. This go around, I think things will be a lot different. I think there'll be a lot of opportunities for Sony to capture some of that PlayStation 1 and 2 magic back, and I think they have done the smart thing by listening to what the gamers want and also listening to what the developers need in order to make great games. You guys fight out in the comments and let me know what you think. I'm really interested in your opinions on this, and please leave comments and let me know if there's anything in particular that you would like for me to discuss in the comment section, because you know I'm all about talking shit and swallowing spit. That's all I got. See y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.
I was positive. That's my goal.
Warship.
Wow, this guy got a...
Only if the game was a little longer, I would have got a warship. Only if the game was, only if the warship was a little longer.
Never a
Yeah,
doubt.
Swan.
Good job.
Have you even got
Finally, I
warship
got
one?
that warship. Finally.